I Was Going Left at the Altar in Akeja, a dramatic Nigerian love story filled with betrayal, traffic, destiny, and unexpected justice. The sun was barely up, yet Akeja was already alive. The buzzing of cars, impatient horns, and the shouting of commercial bus drivers filled the air. Danfo buses swerved through traffic, conductors hanging halfway out, calling for passengers. Vendors were setting up their stalls, the smell of roasted corn and suya drifting through the morning heat. In the middle of all this Lagos chaos stood the wedding venue, beautifully decorated, glowing with white and gold. Today was supposed to be Funmi and Richard's big day. 3 years earlier, Funmi had been the maid of honor at her friend's wedding. Richard saw her across the hall, confident, graceful, smiling, and he was instantly drawn to her. They talked, exchanged numbers, and the connection grew quickly. Even when Richard returned to the US, they kept the relationship alive. Every visit he made to Nigeria, he spent with Funmi. Both families knew each other. Everyone believed this was the couple that would last. But last year, everything shifted. Richard boarded a flight from the US to Nigeria, excited to see Funmi. He didn't expect to meet Lisa, Funmi's friend, on the plane. They sat next to each other. They talked for hours, they exchanged contacts, and soon they were speaking daily. Slowly, Richard's interest in Funmi began to fade. But because the families were already deep into wedding plans, he kept quiet. Back to the present, Richard's friends flew in from the US, dressed sharply, excited for the celebration. Funmi's family was glowing with pride. The hall was filling up. The Aso-ebi was stunning. The DJ was testing the speakers. Everyone was ready. Funmi was in her bridal suite, makeup flawless, gel perfectly tied, heart full of joy. But Richard was nowhere to be found. Calls went unanswered. His best man was pacing. His friends were confused. Traffic in Ikeja was heavy, but not that heavy. Then a message finally came. "I'm sorry. I can't do this." Funmi froze. Her mother broke down. Whispers filled the hall. Richard had abandoned her on their wedding day. Later, the full story unfolded. Richard had fallen for Lisa. Lisa had encouraged him to pull away from Funmi. He thought he was choosing love, but he was choosing a trap. Because Lisa, who worked at a bank in Lekki, had been studying him closely. One day, she transferred all the money in Richard's account and disappeared from his life. By the time Richard realized what happened, Lisa was gone, and so was his savings. As if that wasn't enough, Richard later discovered that Funmi's father was the CEO of the company he had been desperately trying to secure a contract with. His actions didn't just cost him love, they cost him his future. Funmi was heartbroken, but she refused to let the betrayal define her. Months later, she reconnected with a high school friend, someone who had always admired her quietly. Their friendship grew into something real, steady, and kind. They eventually got married in a small, beautiful ceremony filled with peace, not chaos. Richard ended up alone. No Funmi, no Lisa, no money, no contract, no respect from either family. He regretted everything, but it was too late. Months passed, and Funmi took charge of her destiny. She channeled her energy into her career, starting a consulting firm that quickly gained traction. Her mother often reminded her how proud she was to see Funmi rise above the tests of love with grace and strength. In contrast, Richard slowly picked up the pieces of his life. He sought help, realizing his mistakes were stepping stones to becoming a better man. He found a role as a teaching assistant back in Lagos, where he began to impart the lessons he learned from his missteps. Both lives continued on separate paths, moving forward, evolving, growing. In the end, everyone learned that true happiness does not always come from others, but finding peace within oneself. And as the sun sets over Ikeja once more, there's a sense of closure, a whisper of new beginnings waiting just around the corner.